Welcome to the Automation World Get Your Questions Answered podcast, where we connect with industry experts to get the answers you need about industrial automation technologies. I'm David Greenfield, editor in chief at Automation World, and the question we'll be answering in this episode is: can ERP software improve manufacturing productivity? Now, joining me to discuss this is Dusty Alexander, CEO of Global Shop Solutions, a supplier of ERP software. So, thanks for joining me today, Dusty.
Hey, David, man, thank you for hosting, and this will be a great discussion.
So, let's start off just kind of, setting the scene, if you will. For years now, there's been all this discussion about Industry 4.0 and the digitalization of all manufacturing processes.
Yep.
But the reality is that many, if not most, small to mid-sized manufacturers still use spreadsheets and even handwritten charts for production planning and scheduling. So, given that reality, what role can ERP software play to help manufacturers digitize and connect their production operations?
Well, first, David, that is a story that we see and that we walk into all the time. Manufacturers juggling spreadsheets, whiteboards, handwritten notes that they run out to the shop floor. It's one of those situations that works until it doesn't. And it works with your team way more stressed out, I think, than they need to be. You miss a deadline, you run out of material, or you spend half the day trying to figure out where something is. That's where Global Shop Solutions comes in. We replace all those disconnected tools with one system that shows you what's going on. And this is the key thing in real time. What's running late, what's waiting on material, what's running live right now, what has the potential to be late. You're not guessing or walking out to the shop floor for updates. It's all right there on one, we feel, easy to use screen. For small to medium sized customers, Global Shop Solutions is often the first real step into digital manufacturing. And it makes just a quick difference in their day-to-day operations.
Thanks for explaining that, Dusty. One other thing I wanted to touch on, when it comes to ERP, the focus tends to be a lot of the time on the front office aspects of ERP, like finance and HR.
Yeah.
And when ERP is discussed from a production standpoint, it's usually about how orders are fed up from the ERP system to shop floor production systems, or how production capacity data is fed to ERP in the background for automated order scheduling. But we're hearing more about how ERP is becoming more central to specific manufacturing operations. Can you explain what's happening here and how that's occurring?
Yeah, first, on your first statement there on how people perceived it, is it's kind of like we were talking about the perception of manufacturing. The perception of
Mhm.
ERP was finance and HR. ERP used to live in the back office. It was something accounting used, some HR, maybe some inventory control, but it's not, man, how do I say this? Not sitting quietly in the background anymore.
Mhm.
Our customers make their money on the shop floor and the warehouse, and Global Shop Solutions lives there. And it's a big thing we try to measure. We're competing to be one of their most valuable assets. I had a customer tell me that one time. Global Shop Solutions is one of my most valuable assets, and that has just stuck with me. Manufacturers expect more from their systems these days. They want to know, again, where material is, spot bottlenecks before they become problems. And with Global Shop Solutions, they can accomplish all that in one system, real time, all day, every day.
So when it comes to digitized manufacturing operations, dashboards are often a major aspect of this to provide different departments and functions with the information that they need specifically for their work.
Yep.
But developing these dashboards can be a complex process that could require outside help, not only to set up, but to change them as needed, based on users' needs. So, how do you approach the development and deployment of dashboards with your ERP technology?
Sure. When I want to say we've heard that complaint as well. Companies can use an ERP system standard dashboards at first, but they can't really tweak them without calling IT or hiring someone. That was,
Mhm.
and that's not very sustainable. That's why 2 years ago we manufactured and now we offer our dashboard designer tool, which puts that control in the user's hands. You don't need to be a software engineer. You just got to be good, David, at Excel. You
Mhm.
just drag and drop the info you care about, whether it's job status, open orders, late POs, you name it, and build a view that actually makes sense for your role. And then when your needs change, you can update it yourself. I was thinking this morning, great software. I've heard this quote, great software is an evolution, not a revolution. And that's kind of how your dashboards are. They
Mhm.
evolve over time. So no tickets, no delays, no third party involvement. And it makes a big difference when the manufacturers can see what they need, when they need it, and then big decision, place the TV in a strategic location of where you want to see the dashboard and go.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that all you need to be good at is Excel there,
Yeah.
especially in light of what I've seen, even with the advance of all the various software technologies that are out there, it's still most manufacturers still use Excel for planning and scheduling, so they should be pretty good at that, right?
I think so too, David. And a
Yeah.
point on that I'd like to point out is when you can't, here's what I've seen is when you can't customize or tailor a system and you use something that's you do all this stuff in Excel outside the system. So
Mm.
that's just been a
Yeah.
big win for our company, allowing our users to be able to customize the system without breaking it and get everything that you're manually keeping up with in Excel out of the system.
So, can you provide a few examples of customers who have used Global Shop Solutions ERP software to improve their production operations?
Absolutely. Man, I don't know how many case studies we have on our website on production operation management and improvement on globalshopsolutions.com. But we have over 1,800 top level customers, and the large majority are now live on the shop floor. They operate a leaner and faster production environment, and they truly know their costs and have real time inventory reporting.
Now, a key aspect of industry's digital transformation is, of course, the ability to connect multiple production systems so that each system can automate the transfer and application of data from one system to another. Can you explain how Global Shop Solutions ERP interfaces with other production software applications to enable this?
Woo, that is a huge, huge part of what manufacturers, what your audience, I think, are asking for
Mm-hmm.
today. Systems that actually talk to each other. So they don't
Mm-hmm.
have to enter the same data twice or chase down information across different platforms or just have an employee that's their role. Um, at Global Shop Solutions, we've built our ERP to integrate with all kinds of production software such as CAD CAM systems, nesting programs, CRM tools. We've got interfaces for a lot of the commonly used platforms, and we also offer tailored integrations when a customer has more specific needs or they're using something that is just not as popular. Take our nesting interface software. I think we've integrated with 7 or 8 great nesting packages. It lets the nesting software push cut lists, material usage, even the laser time directly into Global Shop Solutions. So everything from inventory to job costing happens automatically. No more rekeying, no delays, just clean, accurate data. Uh, Real easy moving between systems in real time. The goal is real simple. Just you want to reduce the manual work. You want to make it accurate. And like I said earlier, just man, make it easy.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that is the key. Absolutely.
Hey, David, one other thing. This is important too. We created an entire team. We found such a need for this on your question. It's called continuous improvement. When you're at Global Shops headquarters, they'll be running around and they have CI shirts, continuous improvement shirts. They're dedicated to customers continuing to get better. We now have 54 team members on the CI team now, and it's the fastest growing division of Global Shop Solutions. So, just backing up your
Yeah.
question, that's definitely what people are
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah. It underscores the importance of it and the demand for it in industry. Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
sure does.
Yeah. So again, can you give an example of a customer who is doing this? And by that, I mean, using this, like the nesting interface software and what they're using it for and for specific applications in their operations?
Absolutely. Let me walk you through kind of the process. So it's step one is to go live. Global Shop Solutions is very fortunate. We have 198 new implementations in process currently being handled by our NI team across the globe. A customer goes live, and all live is based on the customer's timing, what is critical to get in phase one to a limited extent, and their budget, and then their imagination. So it kind of varies for each customer. Like developing software, it all looks good until you put it in production. And of course, you get additional ideas after you go live. So the second step after go live is we come in and audit you with our now famous, we call them process audits. And then we make recommendations for you to consider, either to tailor the system a little or use one of our thousands of apps we've developed and published for all of our other customers. Those are free to all customers, and then it's just a continuous cycle of continuous improvement. So it's not just going live, David. That's
Okay.
just the start.
Got it. Understood. So, on another topic, I know a growing area of use for ERP is in inventory management and even raw materials tracking, which is an issue with the potential for tariffs, becoming an ever bigger issue beyond just from an operations standpoint. Can you
Yeah,
explain how ERP software can address inventory issues that impact production specifically?
yeah. I had one of our senior consultants. He's got a really good chart, David, and it's inventory is the heart of the system.
Mhm.
And he taught me so much about global shop solutions, but inventory is one of those things that can quietly wreck or make everyone's job uncomfortable if it's not under control. Um, Global Shop Solutions solves that with our in process move tickets and then labels for raw material and finished goods. When something moves, we scan it, whether it's receiving, shipping, forklift drivers, machine operators. We need them to get all of them to buy in. And once you get it, and we teach you the dashboard to monitor it every day, you can't live without it. All customers have my cell phone number for emergencies. And man, do I hear it if a customer has some issues with their labels, David.
Mm.
That is the
Yeah.
one that'll light up my cell phone. They absolutely love the real time. And like I said, once they get it implemented, they can't live without it.
And so here again, I want to ask, can you give some examples of how customers are actually doing this, addressing their inventory issues with Global Shop Solutions ERP?
Sure thing. Big ones we got good at originally were our aerospace, our AS9100, our ITAR companies. All of them use it and use an additional feature to track the lot and heat numbers of the incoming raw material. We produce for these guys a cert pack, or some call it a data book, of all the certs and MTRs used in the production process along the way. Very, very manual process. And man, when you automate it, David, customers love it, and you are on the way to being the most valuable asset, or at least one of the most valuable assets. They have great people.
So one last question, Dusty, because I know we've covered
Sure.
a lot of ground here in the discussion today, and this kind of loops back into our frequent mentions of Excel here often
Yes, yes.
today. Is a reason that a lot of manufacturers still use Excel is because the relatively high cost of a lot of enterprise systems. So that's a big concern, especially for smaller and mid-sized manufacturers, is the actual cost of ERP software. How do you address that?
Well, I mean, at first, that's a fair concern. ERP isn't cheap. It's not cheap to Their time's valuable, and we have some very skilled individuals who will come in and assist you. But the real question is, what's it costing you by not having an ERP? When you're spending time fixing scheduling mistakes, running out of materials, trying to track down manually the status of the job, that's real money walking out the door, and it's every single day. ERP is an investment. It's not an expense, just like your people. And we really believe it is one of your most valuable assets. Like I said, just to show you how serious we take that, David, we had a survey. We surveyed our customers, and 73% rate Global Shop Solutions as one of their most valuable assets. I want to get that to 90. You can always improve, but we take great pride in that.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining me for this podcast, Dusty. And thanks, of course, to all of our listeners. And please keep watching this space for more installments of Automation World. Get your questions answered. And remember, you can find us online at automationworld.com to stay on top of the latest industrial automation technology insights, trends, and news.